Hello students, my name is Maheshwari. I'll teach you the part 1 part of physics. Okay, so in part 1 some of the chapters are already covered and we will start from chapter 5 that is laws of motion. Okay, so hope you know in physics what is called as motion. Okay, what is motion in physics? So in physics motion or movement is nothing but the change in position of any object with respect to time. So motion is nothing but change in position of any object with respect to time. Okay, so this is called as motion. So in motion we know that there are two types. Okay, uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Okay, what is the meaning of uniform motion? So in uniform motion, an object covers equal distance in equal intervals of time. That is uniform motion. So motion can be divided into two types: uniform motion and non-uniform motion. And we know that uniform motion is the motion of any object which covers equal distance in equal intervals of time. Example for uniform motion, the movement of the needle in a clock or the revolution of earth. So these are some examples for uniform motion. Okay. So non-uniform motion, what is that? If an object covers unequal distance in equal intervals of time. Okay. So we will come across many examples of non-uniform motion in our daily life. Okay, so we can give any example for non-uniform motion. Okay, so this is about motion in physics. So next we will go to Newton's laws of motion. Okay, so actually the topic Newton's laws of motion is deleted from your syllabus in the chapter laws of motion. But for some derivations and all, for some discussion, you need the statement of Newton's laws. Okay, so you have to know what are Newton's laws. So first, Newton's first law. So you know what is Newton's first law. Okay, so what is that? So every body continues to be in its state of rest or in the state of uniform motion unless compelled by some external force to act otherwise. Okay, so this is Newton's first law of motion. So any object which will be in rest or which is in uniform motion. Okay, so uniform motion means we know that is it covers equal distance in equal intervals of time. Okay, so in order to change the state of rest of an object or in order to change the state of uniform motion of an object, so some external force is necessary. Okay, so when an external force acts on an object, its state of motion changes. Okay, so that is Newton's first law. For example, so if a car moves in a straight road, okay, so the car is covering equal distance in equal intervals of time, so that we can tell the car is in uniform motion now. Okay, so with respect to car, we are inside the car. Okay, so with respect to car, we are in rest now. Okay. So when the driver suddenly applies brake, what happens? So we will forward. Okay, so we will move forward. Okay, so that sudden jerk happens. It is because of Newton's first law of change, the first law of motion. The resist to change the state of motion. Okay, so with respect to car, we are in rest. So when the driver suddenly applies brake, our state of rest changes. Okay, so that is Newton's first law. Next, Newton's second law. So before going to Newton's second law, we will see about momentum. So momentum, we know that momentum is nothing but it is the product of mass and velocity. So V is the notation, P equal to mass and velocity. Okay, so how can we say momentum is a product of mass and velocity? For that I will give one instance. So if we consider a truck and a car, okay, so we know that truck has more weight than the car, okay, or it has more mass than the car. Okay, so in order to push or pull the truck, we need to apply more force than we apply the force on the car. Okay, so the force applied on the truck is more than on the car. Okay? So this is in terms of mass. Okay. So next we'll consider one instance for velocity. So any a bullet fired from a gun with high velocity, it can pierce a human body easily and can cause more injury. Okay. So in the same way, if we compare a bullet fired from a gun with low velocity will cause less injury compared to the first one. Okay. So the bullet moves with high velocity, and here in the first instance truck. Okay. So the truck has more weight or more mass, and the bullet fired with high velocity can cause more injury. Okay. So in these two instances we can tell, so where the mass is high and where the velocity is high, there the momentum will be high. Okay. So from this we can tell momentum is nothing but it is a product of mass and velocity, and momentum is a vector quantity. Okay. So hope you know that vector quantity is nothing but it has both magnitude and direction. Okay. So the momentum has both magnitude and direction. So it's a vector quantity. So now we will move to Newton's second law. So what is the statement of Newton's second law? So the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the applied force, and it acts along the direction of applied force. Okay, so this is a statement of Newton's second law. So here is the statement: the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the applied force and takes place in the direction in which force acts. Okay, so we know that if we change the state of motion of a table, okay, which is at rest now, we need to pull or push the table. Okay, so if we push the table move forward. If we pull the table, it will come backward. Okay, so in which direction we have applied the force, in that direction it will move. Okay, and it directly proportional to the applied force. If the applied force is very small, it move only a little forward. Okay, so if the applied force is very large, it can move a long. So from this we can tell the rate of change of momentum. What is that rate of change of momentum? It is dp divided by dt. We know that d is nothing but momentum. So dp divided by dt is directly proportional to the applied force, or F directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. So in Newton's second law of motion, we have one more derivation, that is F equal to m into a. But because the concept is cancelled, the derivation is also we don't need that. Okay? The derivation, but you should know that F equal to ma. The formula comes from Newton's second law. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. Okay. So now we will move to Newton's third law. So the statement of Newton's third law is very familiar. That to every action there will be equal and opposite reaction. So for this we can give many examples. I'll consider one example, that is recoiling of gun. So for every action there will be equal and opposite reaction. So recoiling of gun. Okay, so what is that recoiling of gun? So Newton's third law, for every action there will be equal and opposite reaction. Okay. So for that I have taken the example of recoiling of gun. So what happens when the gun fires a bullet? When gun fires a bullet, the gun exerts or it applies some force on the bullet, okay, so that the bullet takes its forward direction. In the same way, the same amount of force will be applied by the bullet on the gun, so that the gun recoils back. So if we consider this as a gun, so the gun exerts some, so when we press this, okay, so when we press this, the gun applies some force on the bullet, so that the bullet takes its forward direction. Okay, so it fires with high velocity. In the same way, when the bullet fires, it applies some reverse force. Okay, in the same amount of force, it will be applied by the bullet on the gun. Okay, so that the gun recoils back. So if we take the force of the bullet is F, we can take the force of the gun is minus F. Okay, so here we can tell for every reaction there will be equal and opposite reaction. Okay, so here F equal to minus F. So if we take minus F to this side, it will be F plus F equal to 0. Okay. So the same example tells us about the law of conservation of momentum. So what is that conservation of momentum? So in an isolated system, the total momentum of the system is conserved. Here we know that initially when the gun is at rest, the momentum is 0. When the gun is at rest, the momentum is 0 because there will be 0 velocity. So because of that 0 velocity, we will get momentum is 0. P equal to m cross v. So v is 0, momentum is 0. So what happens when the gun recoils? So we see about now conservation of momentum. So the statement, so the total momentum of an isolated system is conserved or it is constant. Okay, so you can give one more statement, that is the total momentum of the interacting particle is conserved. Okay, so there we have to give the example of colliding particles that we will see later. So now in this system we will see how the momentum is conserved or how the momentum is constant before the process and after the process, how the momentum will be equal. So now let us see if F is the force of the bullet applied by the gun and minus F is the force of the gun applied by the bullet. Yes, applied by the bullet. So it is the minus F is the force of the gun. So if we take the rate of, or if we take the change of momentum, change in momentum of bullet is FDT. Similarly, change in momentum of gun is minus FDT. So how can we take this FDT? You know that F equal to dP by dt. If we take FDT, it will be equal to the change in momentum. Okay. So now FDT is the change in momentum of the bullet and minus FDT is the change in momentum of the gun. Okay. So next, we know that initially both are at rest. So initially, what is the momentum? Is 0. Initially, momentum is 0. So when the gun recoils, we'll take let PB, B for bullet, let PB is the momentum of bullet and we'll take minus PG, G for gun. So minus PG is the momentum of gun. Okay, so why we are taking negative sign? Because we know that the direction is opposite. Okay, so PB is the momentum of bullet, minus PG is the momentum of gun. Okay, so we know that according to Newton's third law, Newton's third law. For every action, there will be equal and opposite reaction. So the momentum of bullet equal to the momentum of gun. Why it is minus? It recoils back and it moves in the forward direction. Pb equal to minus Pg according to Newton's third law. When we take Pg to this side, it will be Pb plus Pg equal to 0. This is the final momentum or the resultant momentum of the system. And we know that initially the momentum is 0. Okay? So now here we can tell the initial momentum equal to the final momentum. Okay? So initially it is 0 and after the process also it is 0. Okay? So here we can tell the total momentum of the isolated system is conserved. Okay? So this is the example for law of conservation of momentum, and it is important. This concept is included and Newton's law is excluded. So you have to study this law of conservation of momentum. Chapter laws of motion we have discussed today about motion, momentum, Newton's laws of motion, and law of conservation of momentum. Okay, so in that law of conservation of momentum is the important concept. So now we will discuss one of the numericals. Okay, so in the first or second chapter, I think you have discussed some equations about motion in a straight line. So using that equation, we need to solve the numerical. So the question is given: a bullet of mass 0.05 kg, sorry 0.015 kg strikes a metal plate of thickness 10 cm with a velocity of 400 meter per second and emerge from it with a velocity of 260 meter per second. So what you have to do? Find the average resistance offered by the plate to the motion of the bullet. So what's the meaning of this? So a bullet, the mass of bullet is given. Okay. So the bullet strikes a metal plate. So one metal plate is there. A bullet with velocity 400 meter per second. Okay, so it hits the metal plate. After hitting, it emerges out from the bullet with a velocity 260 meter per second. So here the velocity is decreased. So here the velocity is decreased. So some resistance is offered by the metal plate to the motion of the bullet. So you have to find out what is the resistance. Resistance means here the block. Okay, so the block to the or the opposition to the motion of the bullet. So what is the average resistance offered by this metal block to the motion of the bullet? Okay. So how can we find out? So first we will write the given values. So what is the mass of bullet? So mass I get m. Mass of bullet is 0.015 kg. Thickness is given. So if the thickness of the bullet is this much, that is 10 cm. So it is the displacement. Okay, so this distance, the thickness of the metal plate is given. That is the displacement. So here we can take S or X is equal to 10 cm or in meter I will write 0.1 meter. So with a velocity of 400 meter per second. So this is the initial velocity. So U 400 meter per second and the final velocity V equal to 260 meter per second. So which formula we can apply now? So V is given, U is given, S is given. So we can apply the formula V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. So what is our job in this equation? So we have to find out the acceleration first. Okay. So substitute. So the initial velocity plus 2A into S is 0.1 meter. Or from the equation you can rearrange the equation first. Then also you can substitute the values. Okay. So after the calculation, you will get some answer. I'm not using the calculator, so directly I write the answer up here. Okay, so you need to calculate the values and then find out the value of acceleration. The value of acceleration is minus 4.62 into 10 power 5 meter per second square. Okay, so why we need to find out the acceleration? Because we need to find out the resistance. Okay, so here resistance is nothing but the force of the metal, the force applied by the metal on the motion of the bullet. Okay, so in the class I told you some force will be exerted by the gun on the bullet. Okay, in the same way some force will be applied by the bullet on the gun. So here some force of the metal applied on the motion we have to find it. So after this we have to calculate force, that is F equal to m into A. So mass is given in terms of kg 0.015 and acceleration value is this one, minus 4.62 into 10 power 5. So calculate and write the answer using your calculator. So that is 6930 Newton. Okay, so here minus sign is there since it is a resistive force. We know that it is an opposition force. Okay, so since it is a resistive force, you can write the minus or you can neglect the minus. It's not a problem. Okay, so if you write the minus, you will get minus 6930. If you neglect the minus, you will get 6930 and 6930 Newton. Okay. So this is the force of the metal applied to the motion of the bullet. Okay, so this is the resistive force, average resistance offered by the metal plate on the bullet. Okay, so hence the velocity got decreased. So similar problems are there from your exercise. So you can solve that using the equations of motions. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you.